Okay, let's unpack this. So for today's deep dive, our source is um, maybe the most fundamental one we've ever looked at.
It's really something else.
Right. It's a text written in, and I'm quoting here, Slow English for Absolute Beginners.
Right.
And it's all about defining a favorite holiday.
Yeah.
And that holiday is summer.
Summer.
The entire season.
Exactly. And you might think, okay, what can we really learn from language that's, that simple? But our mission here is to show that when you strip away all that complexity, what you're left with is, well, it's the purest truth about what we all want.
That's the critical distinction, I think.
How so?
Well, when you get rid of all the jargon, all the cultural stuff, you can see the core emotional drivers.
Yeah.
We're looking at this minimal data to find a surprisingly complete philosophy of what it means to be happy, to rest, and to feel ultimately free.
A blueprint for satisfaction.
Exactly. We're trying to figure out what this source says are the non-negotiable parts of a perfect break. Absolutely. And the beauty is just how distilled it is.
Yeah.
So let's start where the source starts, the physical environment.
The fundamentals.
Right. It gives us 3 basic facts about summer. 1, it is hot.
Mm-hmm.
2, the sun is bright. And 3, the days are long.
And those are such powerful primal inputs. I mean, if you think about it in evolutionary terms,
Go on.
hot and bright, that immediately signals safety, abundance.
Yeah.
Bright light energizes us. It regulates our moods, our body clocks.
Sure.
And warmth means our bodies don't have to work so hard just to survive.
Mhm.
That energy can go into, resting, exploring.
So it's like a biological green light.
It's a global signal to your body that just says you are safe, you can thrive now.
That's a great way to put it. It's not just a nice day. It's a physiological permission slip.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on that third one, the long days.
Ah, yes.
To me, that's the most compelling part. The days are just longer. Why is that so tied to the feeling of a holiday?
Because the ultimate luxury in our world, in our always-on culture, is time. Unconstrained time. When the days are short, in winter, everything feels rushed. You're always racing against the sunset.
Yeah, you feel that pressure.
But when the sun is up late, that boundary just dissolves. It feels like you've been given this gift of extra hours.
An environmental bonus.
Exactly.
Mm.
And that expansion of time, even just the perception of it, is what makes everything else feel possible.
It's so true. It gives you back this bandwidth that darkness usually takes away. All the stress of modern life feels like it's about being out of time.
And long days just temporarily hit pause on that feeling.
And the text connects that foundation, that environment, directly to an emotion.
It does, immediately.
It just says simply, in summer, I feel happy and relaxed.
No confusion there. The environment is the trigger. It's a direct cause and effect. Your body and your mind are put at ease by the light and the warmth.
It really is a simple equation, isn't it? Warmth plus light plus time equals relaxation.
And that's the foundation for everything else that follows.
Okay, so once that feeling is established, we have to move from the environment to the behavior.
To what we do with that feeling.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. The text links that happiness to 3 specific actions, or rather inactions.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I like summer because I can rest.
Yeah.
Then, I do not work a lot.
Not a lot. That's key.
And finally, I have more free time.
And that little group of sentences, I mean, it just perfectly captures this central human desire to stop the constant obligation
of labor.
Right. The core of the holiday isn't the weather, it's the permission to stop working so much.
And it defines it in 2 ways. Rest, which is passive,
Recovery.
and free time, which is active. It's autonomy.
The 2 sides of the same coin. The complete reclassing of your own life.
You know, that phrase, I do not work a lot, is just so profound in how simple it is.
It really is.
But it raises a question for me. If the goal is just to rest, why even mention the sun and the heat?
That's a great point.
I mean, we all know people who go to the beach and they're still checking their work emails, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can't switch off.
And that highlights a subtlety here. The
Mhm.
sensory things, the long, bright days, they aren't the goal. They're the enabler, the
Excuse.
excuse, the cultural permission slip to say, you know what, it's summer, I'm stepping back.
Hmm.
And notice it doesn't say, I do zero work.
It says not a lot.
Exactly, which implies a balance, a shift in priority, not a total shutdown.
Mm.
And maybe that's a more realistic, more sustainable kind of break anyway.
That moderation is so important. It's about shifting focus from your duties to your own well-being.
And all of that, the rest, the limited work, the
Yeah.
free time, it all builds to one ultimate emotional conclusion.
The big one.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Right.
this is the peak of the whole text. The final verdict is that summer makes me feel free.
Free. That's the word.
It's not just an adjective, it's the metric for success. The whole season is judged on whether it delivers that feeling, not just relaxed, but autonomous.
And that feeling of freedom is really about owning your own time, which is
Yeah.
exactly what we were saying about the long days.
Yeah.
This short section is almost a challenge to the idea that we need, I don't know, complex spiritual journeys to feel fulfilled.
Right.
Sometimes all you need is just the freedom to decide what you're going to do on a Tuesday afternoon,
And that sense of freedom leads directly to movement, to action.
which takes us right into the ideal summer itinerary.
Once you've got the time and the autonomy, what do you do with it?
Exactly. And according to this source, the first thing you do is explore. It says, I like to travel and I like to visit new places.
The anti-routine.
Totally. Travel is the active use of the free time you earned by not working a lot. It's physically removing yourself from your normal obligated space.
And the travel in the text isn't just anywhere. It's to a very specific, idealized place.
To the sea.
Right. I like to see the sea and I love the beach.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating here is that the text doesn't just say the beach. It gives you these tiny, specific sensory details. The blue water and the soft sand.
Yes. And that's so important. Why the color blue? Why does the sand have to be soft?
Well, what do you think?
I think it's because those are immediate, high-impact, low-effort feelings. Blue is calming. It signals purity. Soft sand is just immediate physical comfort.
It is. It's completely immersive and requires zero mental work. You feel the sun, you see the color, you feel the texture.
It's the total opposite of the multitasking cognitive load of work.
It's restorative because it only asks for your senses, not your brain power.
And that sensory restoration then enables the next step. Activity, movement.
Mm-hmm.
It says, in summer, I also like to swim. Swimming is fun. Swimming makes me feel good.
And notice the words it uses. Fun. Good.
Yeah, this isn't about exercise. This isn't training for a triathlon. This is play.
The activity has to be intrinsically rewarding. It reinforces that whole philosophy of the holiday being about removing the shoulds. You swim because you want to, not because you need to.
It closes the loop, doesn't it?
Right.
Freedom leads to travel. Travel leads to the beach. And the simple act of swimming makes you feel good, which gets you right back to that initial happy and relaxed state.
It's a perfect self-sustaining cycle of well-being.
And we can't forget the final piece of the itinerary, the indulgences.
The simple rewards.
It specifies ice cream and cold drinks.
Yes, and that is such a crucial detail.
Why?
Because the food choices are a direct response to the hot environment from the very beginning.
Ah, of course.
Ice cream and cold drinks aren't complicated. They are simple, fast ways to regulate your temperature and get a little caloric reward. They're immediate comfort.
It proves the point again. It's not about finding the most gourmet, complex meal. It's about finding what's simple, cold, sweet, and satisfying right now.
So when you pull back and look at the whole thing,
It's a surprisingly complete blueprint.
it really is. It moves so logically from the perfect physical setting to the necessary emotional freedom, and then to the simple, satisfying activities that you do with that freedom.
A masterclass in distilled truth, really.
Absolutely. The source didn't need fancy language to explain what people need to feel satisfied and free.
It's a system.
It's a perfect system. Optimal sensory environment, plus permission to rest, plus enjoyable movement, plus simple indulgence. And the sum of all those parts is feeling free.
So what does this all mean for you, listening to this? We took a few simple sentences and we found a whole philosophy of leisure.
We did.
Summer in this context, is this perfect storm of long, bright, hot days that enable rest and travel, and that all leads to happiness, relaxation, and ultimately, freedom.
Hmm.
The takeaway isn't just that we like summer, it's a breakdown of why we like it into its functional parts.
And since the source ends by saying the ultimate goal is to feel free, my favorite holiday is summer because it makes me feel free. There's the final thought. We've identified the core parts of that freedom, right? Light and heat, more time, less work, exploration, and simple rewards. So if freedom is the goal, you don't actually have to wait for summer. You don't need a plane ticket. So the question for you is, what one tiny element of this blueprint, the blue water, the soft sand, the simple act of resting for 10 minutes, the indulgence of an ice cream, what one thing could you deliberately bring into your life today?
Hmm.
How can you capture one micro moment of that freedom right now without waiting for the whole package? Because what this text teaches us is that huge satisfaction can come from very small, very well-chosen inputs.
Miniaturized freedom, that's a fantastic provocation. Thank you for joining us as we went deep on the fundamentals. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.